Hello guys, I hope you are doing well. So in this session we will be covering the most important topic in G-Sheet, which is formulas. So if we will talk about formulas, so it encompasses about 50% of entire Excel or G-Sheet, and you can solve any kind of problem using formulas, like you can clean the messy data, automate the repeated task, as well as you can generate the insights. So if you will get hands-on the same, you can be very efficient and solve problem quickly. So how we will go? First we will understand what are formulas, then we will be learning the type of formulas, and then after that we will be learning about signature of formula and rule which we have to follow while using the formulas. And after that I have categorized the formula into broad 10 categories. So we will go through that, and in the coming videos we will be covering each of them one by one. So first question is, what are functions? So functions are basically predefined formulas that take input and return an output. For example, suppose I have to do the summation. So if I am trying to do it manually, so I have to choose like cell by cell, and then I can apply the plus operator in between and I can do the sum. But by using formula, this task become very easy. Suppose here equal to, so you must remember that before using the formula you should apply equal to sign, sum, and then you have to pass the range. So here the range is G13 to G17, and press enter. Now you can see that how quickly the sum function calculate the summation. So basically this is the usage of formula, like it make your task very easy and repetitive task very efficient. Other formulas, if I will talk about, for example, upper formula, lower formula, proper formula, or lookup formulas like VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, and like index match also. And if I will categorize the formulas, like there are three types of function basically. First function is single value function. So these functions return one value per formula cell. So how they operate, like when we pass the entire range, so they give the aggregated value in the form of summation, minimum, maximum, average, etc. So we can use the n number of formulas like that, like sum, count, countif. So countif is basically the conditional count. And the other kind of formulas are multi-value formula. For example, like multi-value formula, in the sense that uh, you will write the formula and it will return you the array instead of single value. For example, unique formula or sort formula. Let us try to do the sorting. So how can we do it? Equal to sort. So this is the formula, and then you have to pass the range which you want to sort. Now you can see that all the products are arranged into the ascending order, right? So I hope you understood it, because like how it is operated, so it has returned the array, right? So in the similar way, like we can play with unique formula or filter formula also. There are third type of formula, volatile formula. So this is really very dynamic formulas. Whenever you reload the sheet, so they are recalculated. For example, today formula or now formula. So today basically how it work, like every day when you reload the sheet, today calculates again and again. So in that sense, they are really very dynamic. But there is one drawback attached to it, like as they are recalculated again and again, so we have to use them wisely. And like still we have to use them, so then we have to use with the help of reference instead of using them like directly. So if I will show you equal to today, so it is calculating the today's date. And now suppose I have to use them again, so instead of using today again, what we can use, we can just use the reference. Basically it will improve the performance of your G sheet. Similarly, we can use a rand function also, equal to rand between, suppose I am using. So we have to pass the range. So 1 to 10. Now it will give you the random value. Suppose in this case it is giving 7. Now we will learn about like function signature and rule. So function signature. So what is function signature? So basically there are the predefined set of arguments and there is a defined order for every function. If you violates that, then Google Sheet will generate the error. So for example, for VLOOKUP, what is the function signature? First you have to pass the search key, then range, then index, and then you have to pass like exact match or approximate match. So this is a particular syntax. Similarly for search, find text, within text, and start number. Now we will understand like what best practices you can follow while using them. So first thing is, like you should use the correct arguments, you should use the correct data types, and you should pass the ranges efficiently, or you should use the ranges correctly. So if I will explain you with example, suppose I am using the VLOOKUP formula, and in VLOOKUP this indicates the index. So if I pass the 3 index here and I am using the range A to B, so 3 index is missing here, right? So if I'm passing 3, then it will produce the error. Instead of that, we have to use it like carefully, and we have to pass range from A to C. So in crux, we can say that performance best practices will be like avoid volatile functions, and if still you have to use, then use the references, use the ranges carefully, avoid extra ranges, use the arguments carefully, and try to follow the order, right? So I hope this much is clear. Now we will be understanding like how can we broadly categorize the formulas. So I have categorized the formulas into 10 basic heads. So first is cleaning data. So as I told you, like you can perform any function with the formula. So similarly, you can also clean the data. How can you clean the data? Like you can trim the white spaces. You can convert into proper case, lower case, upper case. You can use a substitute formula. You can split the, like for example, first name and last name are given together. Then you can split into first name and last name. So this is text cleaning essentials. Then if I'll talk about other formulas like extract and combine text, in the sense that like we can use the concat function, concatenation function, text join function, or regular expression per se, or we can also use the mid, right, left. And to make the formulas dynamic, we can use a combination of formulas like left formula along with find formula. Similarly, there is third type of formula, summary and counting fundamentals. For example, we can use the average, mean, mode, product, sum. So these are basically used for summary or counting. In this, the count A and count is very important. Count blank is also important formula. Then there are formula related to logic. For example, suppose we have to bucket the data, then we can use the if formula. If formula we can use to check the condition logically. For example, I want this condition, like there are two conditions and I want both the conditions to be true, then we can use the AND formula. Similarly, we can also use the OR formula. Or in case of error, like whenever you are dealing with error, you can use the if error, if NA formulas. Similarly, for lookup value, you can use the X lookup, V lookup, H lookup, index match. So you have to select the formula according to the use case you want to solve. Similarly, there are 6 type of formula like filtering. So here you can also use the nesting of formulas. Like nesting of formula is you are using the formula within formula. So here you can use the filter and unique function combine, or filter unique and sort function combine. Similarly, there are date and working days formula. So like there are some time related and date related formulas. For example, now, today, date, dated if. So these you can use. Similarly, there are array related formulas, array formula, split, flatten. And there are text related formula as well. For example, length, text, value. Like if you want to check like whether the particular cell is blank or not, or the particular cell is text value or not, then you can use this type of formulas. So I hope this much is clear. Stay tuned. We will be covering each of the 10 heads into different videos. I hope everything is clear. Thank you.